Madam Speaker. Now we have someone, a young gentleman, coming to speak to you all on the topic of youth radicalism. And he is the Vice Chairperson of Policy, Advocacy and Projects at the Commonwealth Youth Council. His name is Mr. Nikoli Edwards.
Pleasant good afternoon, everyone. All protocols having been observed. Now, I must say that I was thoroughly impressed with what I witnessed here today. Coming into Parliament, one expects that adversarial nature that the Speaker just mentioned. But I do think that the way the affairs of this House was conducted today is testament to the fact that the country, once it's in the hands of young people, the young people of today coming forward, would be in good hands. Because you have displayed, and I think everyone can attest to this, a certain level of research, a certain level of confidence and passion in what you were presenting today, and that definitely showed. Now, I represent the Commonwealth Youth Council. We represent, in effect, 1.2 billion young people across the 52 countries of the Commonwealth. And I'm a part of the 9-member executive. And we have a number of issues on our plate that we fight very firmly for. And one of the things that we are very much concerned with is peace building. And as young persons in society today, we recognize that there is a need for things such as mediation, conflict resolution, peace ambassadors. And the responsibility is really on your shoulders at this point, because that same level of or a desire to bring about peace is something that you must carry everywhere with you, in your schools, in your community, when you have opportunities like this, because you are very fortunate today to be sitting down here and participating in the 15th National Youth Parliamentary Debate, because it could have been other young people here, but something about you attracted your teacher or your guardian to present you to the National Youth Parliament. And you must take that responsibility and run with it. As I was speaking with some of your colleagues today over lunch, I was saying to them that this discussion that takes place here today must continue. There are many persons who are not even aware of the National Youth Parliament. And I can tell you, growing up, I used to look at the National Youth Parliament on television and hope and pray that one day I would be here as part of the National Youth Parliament. Now, granted, that opportunity never came around, but I had the opportunity to actually be in the Senate at the age of 25. On the independent bench, making history in that regard. And that just simply says to me that there is potential in us as young people, and it is being recognized. There are persons who are looking on at every single thing that you do. So you must conduct yourself in a manner that is appropriate. You must show what you have to offer to this world, because we cannot continue to simply expect things to be put before us. We have to get up and go and get it. And that is what this work requires. Now, being in Parliament, a lot of the times persons think, well, oh gosh, Parliament, and it's big, and this, that, and the other, and it's so important. It is important. But I want to let you know something. The building is not that which is important. It's the business that is conducted in here that is important. It affects our everyday lives. And you have an opportunity as you prepare to take up positions of leadership over the next couple of years to bring that kind of thinking and that kind of importance to the work that you do, no matter what it is. You can be doing community work under an NGO or CBO. Give it your best. Every single thing that you do, give it your best. Two of the things that I am fighting for in my everyday life is reformation of the criminal justice system, as well as youth. And many persons will ask, why youth? For the last decade, young people have been leading many of the charges around the world for change. When we think about the civil rights movement, when we think about the salt wars, when we think about even Black Lives Matter right now around the world, it's young people just like yourselves. So don't let anyone ever underestimate your potential. You have to go out there and be the change ambassadors. You have to be the ones who challenge the status quo, not for being rebellious sake, but for actually advocating for something that you know will benefit all of us as a people, because we must coexist here in Trinidad and Tobago, in the Caribbean, and in the wider world. So just to comment, I would hope moving forward that you will carry this information that you've learned here, share it with your colleagues. Let persons know that you took part in the National Youth Parliamentary debate, and let them know how they can get involved so that they can start preparing themselves. Don't let it be a situation where you have close friends and they don't even know about your participation. Spread the message. Let people know that there are opportunities in this country for young people all around, and they simply have to get up and go after it. I would like to say that I would have liked to see a person who is differently abled having access to the National Youth Parliamentary debate, and that is something for consideration moving forward. I am pleased with the male to female ratio. A lot of times you see one outshining the other. I think that we have a good ratio with us. I would like to see more Tobagonians be a part of the National Youth Parliamentary debate, yeah. Right, and lastly, what I would like to say is that as much as my colleague, the Vice President of the Senate, because we all sat there as judges, would speak on behalf of us as judges and comment specifically, I do appreciate the fact of how supportive you were to one another, especially in that moment where a member would have fumbled or lost their train of thought. You all showed that you were in this together. Because at the end of the day, we collectively have to live in this country. We collectively have to benefit from these services. And we collectively are afflicted by some of the things that take place in society. So I commend you on that moving forward. And lastly, actually, your voice is something that you need to exercise. Just as if we want a better body, we want abs, all these different things, we go to the gym and we exercise, your voice too has to be exercised. And how you do that? In every single corner, every opportunity that you get, exercise your right of freedom of speech. Speak out against injustices wherever you may see it. Let persons know the potential of young people and what we have to offer to this world. So every time that you get that opportunity, exercise that voice. And I can assure that Trinidad and Tobago, the Caribbean, and the world would be in good hands. Thank you.